Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, coming at you with the opposite of what I normally say. I always say bulk is better. And in this one, I'm going team glass cannon. And I've used this team, I think in the fun, like the non-ELO season. And I had good like wins with that, but it was a non-ELO season, so I didn't care too much. But now we are in an ELO season. But we're in Premier Classic where Charizard and then others are sort of running the meta. So electivire is a nice sneaky pick. You have the Thunder Shock and Wild Charge, which only takes 5 Thunder Shocks to get to a Wild Charge, which is insane. And electivire is so attack heavy too that like these Wild Charges one shot a bunch. And then I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be like super weak to like Swampert, I want something that can deal with Swampert, but also has like coverage in case I need to like. I don't want to just like put in a grass and then just get walled by a flyer. So I put in a fighter that has Leaf Blade and also Brave Bird. And I'm like, I'm committed. Let's just go Glass Cannon. So Glass Cannon I had was a Gengar. So like backline is going to have a bit of trouble with Swampert. You don't have Gengar can't throw anything at a normal type Pokemon. But if you can work around and grab shields, like you're in a good spot. So Swampert on lead here. This is where I want to see it. These counters chip, like everything on this team is going to do a lot of damage. So this will one shot, so they have to shield. So that's kind of what you want. You just want get as many shields as you can early, and you're looking golden because both Shadow Ball and Wild Charge are going to have a good time. You can live one Hydro. I know that much because I've played this matchup out before, and they make a great catch on Charizard. But that doesn't matter. So great catch. Not going to matter when I'm going to come in here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Already at the Wild Charge. I'm going to bait here because I think my thought process was they have a ton of energy. They're probably going to shield knowing that I'm at a Wild Charge and it would one shot. So get the shield. I end up shielding back because anything. Like these Pokemon are so glassy. You pretty much need to shield anything for all 3 of these. Get the one shot off. I know Swampert's coming back in. And I think I just let it go then. At this point. Let it go. Because Sirfetch'd will be able to get ahead. You know what? I make him Gengar. Yeah, that's actually smarter. Because I know I'm going to need to get to a move. What am I doing? I think what I should have done is just got to a Shadow Ball and then come in and got a couple counters. Because I was basically at a Shadow Ball. And now I have the double shield. The good news is, between they're going to be energy dry. Like, holy smokes, that takes it a lot. And I matched 2 Shadow Punches. So hopefully 2 Shadow Punches is able to take this out back to back here. 1 here, take it out. And I do still get to the Shadow Ball to take out the Swampert. So not exactly the best way to play that out, but get the win. You're pretty much gonna be low on health no matter what how the game outcome is. So like I'm gonna have to shield up a Surf. I know that this isn't gonna take it out, and I'm gonna have to shield up a Surf, which is too bad, but that's just the way it is with this team. You just gotta use your shields early and often. So the good news is I'll keep Switch. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna have a Brave Bird coming out too, pretty much, right? If they come in Charizard, they come in with a Charmer. So I'm probably going to get out into maybe my Gengar right away. Yeah. Resist the Charm. Start getting ahead on energy and Wall Rain again. And this time I'm just going to go straight Shadow Ball. Again, it doesn't one-shot. Wall Rain's pretty thick. ABA team, interesting here. They end up shielding. They have 2 shields, so I guess that makes sense. One's probably going to take me out, but that's okay because at this point, I let it go. Am I going to get to move? I do get to the move. Like, and that's if you're gonna run a Glass Cannon team, you need these Pokemon that can like throw these moves relatively quickly. They double shield. I'm coming in here because I know they have energy, and I don't care about Sirfetch'd anymore because Sirfetch'd is useless against a Fairy, and I'm gonna have a good time against this and the Charmer. Any move pretty much doesn't take me out, but like a Charmer isn't gonna get to a move, right? Because it's gonna take a while, and these charge so fast. Back-to-back Wild Charges. Here comes one boom. Goodbye, Sylveon. Hello, Walrein. Goodbye, Walrein. This is over. You cannot go shields down against this Pokemon. you're going to have a rough time. So again, this is trickier because a normal Swampert doesn't take you out. This one takes you out with one Hydro, and you're going to get outpaced 5-4 versus 5-5. So if I want to keep this alive, which I think I do because I'm going to have to shield up otherwise, I think I just need to double shield this and commit to maybe getting a couple extra counters through and then throwing the Leaf Blade. And they know it. Coming with Muck. Way too slow. And now this is... I'm going to lose this game. This is so poorly played. I can just tell already. You can't... No, because this is basically one shots. I'm not going to get to a move. I needed it to make that decision faster or throw the Brave Bird... throw the Brave Bird right away and then get out, or make that switch immediately. Because now the Walreine's going to come in, which I still am okay here. But now they're going to be able to farm me down because I'm switch locked because I was just pissed and came back in right away. That's not going to be bad. It's not going to take it out because Swampert is too thick. And now one Earthquake is going to take me out, and they're already loaded with energy. So way too slow. Like, you need to... If you know something... Muck comes in. I'm not going to have a good matchup against my... Although it wouldn't be too bad because I think it looked like a poison jab there. So I maybe could have came in with my... although, no, everything would have been resisted with my Gengar. So I had to come in there. I just had to come in faster. So these matchups are interesting because it's going to take 2 Wild Charges to take this out because Snorlax is just too tanky. Look at that, barely, and they're going to get it. The good news is, like I said, only 5 Thunder Shocks to get to a Wild Charge, which seems insane, but when you're a Glass Cannon, I guess you need that spamminess or else you're just like useless, right? So here comes the second Wild Charge. I've got another one, so if they shield, I can go back to back here, so I'll take switch or I'm going to take shield advantage. And both are okay. So I got shield advantage, which is fine, because now I can just come in here. I'm going to have to shield up probably 1. I can live 1 Body Slam. I don't think I can live 2. They superpower me. Okay. Which is fine. Out comes the Gliz Core, so I'm going to just Brave Bird this. I don't think it'll take it out. Because the problem is, in Ultra League, like, the Brave Bird doesn't one-shot a lot of things, which is surprising. But I get... to the Shadow Ball. Again, Lapras is this the second time I've seen... Oh no, this is an ABB style team. This is an ABB. Lapras, Snorlax in the back. That's a fairly common old school team. They get to the Surf. And just the claws, again, so... These claws are actually chunking. And that's the sort of benefit of having an attack heavy Pokemon like Gengar. Like, these Shadow Claws and Shadow Punches, which is normally doesn't do amazing, like, are quite well here in the Great League. And I think this is the last battle, overcoming a tough lead here. Come in here. They don't get out, which is interesting because this will... I don't know if it'll one-shot, but it's going to be pretty close to one-shot, so they're going to have to shield. I'm going to have to shield. Again, you just got to shield everything. Now can I outpace? Snorlax comes in. I've got to throw it before they get to a move, or else I'm going to have to shield like an idiot. You definitely need to throw earlier than that. So I can Wild Charge. Again, we saw last time it only did like 50%. Oh, but it's a Shadow, so I probably just go Ice Punch here. Yeah, if it was a normal, I would have to go back to back Wild Charges, but I don't have to. So if I bank that, I can survive 1 Body Slam. It's going to hurt again. Like, it's a Shadow Snorlax, and I'm a very fragile bird. So almost takes me... No, it doesn't take me out almost, but in the yellow. Dragonites can come back in. Can I get to the Brave Bird? Yes, I think so. I do get to the Brave Bird. This will one-shot, maybe? Hopefully. Does one-shot. Out comes a Walrein. Do I come in here? They're going to get to an Earthquake. I think that's... I'm actually hoping they do, because that's going to drain their energy. And then I can get to a Wild Charge before, because it's going to take 5 and I'm only 4 away. Yeah, and then I can just Wild Charge. And I'm so attack heavy, I probably would have won CMP too. So just draining their energy. Got out of a tough lead there. Anyways, Glass Cannon team. If you're going to use a team like this, one, you just need to shield everything. Like if you are left with a shield at the end of your game, like if you lose and you have a shield, you play this totally wrong. Like you need to shield everything. You need to also, like, getting shields is your friend, right? You want shields down for your opponent so you can wild charge, you can shadow ball, you can brave bird. That's how you're going to sort of win the game. So I really like electivire in the Premier Classic, right? There's not a ton of, like, Swampert, like, is the toughest ground you're going to see. That'll single resist the wild charges. But there's flyers. You get to wild charge on 5 thunder shocks, so for most things you can just back-to-back wild charge a lot of things and grab a shield. So I really kind of like electivire in the Premier Classic. Gengar is more interesting because it's so glassy and the shadow balls don't really one-shot a lot of things. Plus there's a lot of dark, and it's just like you have to, like, Gengar is kind of whatever. And Sirfetch'd is a nice counter user. If you need a counter user, it's always been one of my favorite. Like Escav is also one of my favorites for Premier, or even just Ultra League in general. But now Charizard and stuff kind of made Escav a little trickier to use. At least this has Brave Bird that you can kind of at least threaten, if not one shot, a lot of those Pokemon. So anyways, that is it. This is going up Wednesday, so tomorrow we will do Great League Teams Holiday Edition. I mentioned in my other video, I kind of went over like idea rankings in my head, and then they were updated. And yeah, I kind of caught myself at the end and be like, no, there's ice and electric and like no steel in this. So ice and electric are going to be near the top, and they sort of are. But we'll go over those rankings tomorrow and team ideas for that. And then I got to film a bunch in advance because I'm headed home to Hamilton, but I've done a bunch of Ultra League teams. So you can see I'll do a couple of the Great League Holiday Cup. I'll film those before I leave. So you have a couple of those, and then you're going to have like 3 or 4 Ultra League that I'm filming this past week because Ultra League is on right now. It's on next week as well. So we got just common teams, Pidgeot, Kabali, and Core. We have Melmetal lead, which was like, if you have Galarian Stunfisk, use Galarian Stunfisk. But like Melmetal lead to deal with all the flyers. That was a nice pick. I mentioned yesterday Obstagoon. Obstagoon also really worked in Open. Obstagoon is like a really underrated Pokemon in Ultra League, I think. So don't sleep on Obstagoon again. And there's going to be a couple others. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate the comments on the video. And I hope you're having, if you celebrate Christmas, it's, I guess, in a few days away from now. So hope you have a good Christmas if you celebrate it. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.